Well, Maja and Felix, welcome to Finland.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Let's talk about Crew of Me&You. You released your EP last week. Mm-hmm. How did this whole project come about?
Me and Felix started to write music again after many years apart. Obviously, we've been in the same band, The Sounds, for over 20 years. But we did write a lot of music in the beginning of The Sounds. But then I would say a little over a year ago, we started to write music for an upcoming Sounds album. But a couple songs into that process, we wrote a song, and instantly we felt like this is something else, this is something different. And I think that's when the idea came about. Instead of trying to molding that song into a sound song, or even trying to make the sounds into a different kind of genre of music, it would be better, or just leave the song in the computer and no one will ever hear it. The other option is to start a new band alongside with The Sounds. So that's how we came about.
What was the songwriting process like compared to what you've done with The Sounds?
I mean, I would say in this band, it's we work at the same time. I mean, it could be like we're in the studio and I might work on something like a drum beat or whatever sound, you know, comes across, and Maja start immediately maybe to write lyrics or a melody if we get a feeling for the same thing. And that's how we started, and then we don't really know where, you know, what directions it's gonna take us, but we work at the same time, not like rehearsing, but just
it's very effortless,
yeah.
Very allowing, and very, like you said, we work simultaneously, both lyrics and music and melodies, and it's a very fun and fast process. Yeah. I think every song doesn't take more than a week and a half to write and produce.
Yeah, we don't really
overthink anything.
Overthinking a lot of like, for example, vocal takes and other takes, like it's like the first actual take of that track, because sometimes when you try to go back and redo stuff just to make it better, it's just like there's no point. I mean, we write a lot of how we feel at the moment, and you can only capture that at the moment. Mm-hmm. Sometimes when you want to go back and you overproduce it or overthinking like the whole melody or lyrics. But so I mean, we write pretty much of how we feel at the moment.
Well, obviously The Sounds is extremely popular, and did you feel more relaxed doing this, since this is a new project, new band? Did you feel more relaxed writing and recording the songs because you didn't have any kind of pressure? If you know what I mean.
I know what you mean. I wouldn't use the word relaxed. I would say we found this newborn energy again that reminds me of the energy that we had in the early days of The Sounds. And it's inevitable that with a huge band like The Sounds and the amount of years that we put into that band, some of that creative, rebellious kind of teenage vibe that we had at the beginning, that's going to get lost over the years. It's impossible to reinvent yourself after 6 albums. But we have that with Crew of Me&You. I think that's what we found writing together again. It felt like we were beginners, but with 20 years of experience, which is a very strange but very liberating feeling. So I wouldn't say more relaxed, it's just more energetic and fun, and there are no limits to where this will take us, it seems like.
No.
Well, do you have any plans to do a big tour with Crew of Me&You, or what is your plan?
I mean, yeah, hopefully. I mean, we just need to get the music out more. I mean, right now we are playing a little tour in Sweden, or like a club tour, but we hope to come here playing festivals, and I mean, we take this band, you know, as serious as we do with The Sounds. It's not just like a side project to go out and play some music. We really put an effort into this duo, and hopefully we can come to Finland and play like a tour like we've been doing with The Sounds. Yeah. That's our goal, you know, to be able to come out and play our music for a lot of people.
But when it comes to the songs on the EP, are the lyrics and the stories from a certain time of your life, or is it something completely made up?
Oh no, I mean everything is very personal. I think the beauty with music is that you can pick and choose whatever you want to express, and I think that is the beauty of the stuff that we're writing together, the music and the melody and the lyrics. I think they go very much hand in hand, and I feed off the melodies and the chords that he's building and the beats, whatever, and he feeds off of my vocal takes and melodies and whatever vibe we're into. So I think this is very much a crew of me and you. It's very much musically and creatively. It's a beautiful combination of us both, equally as much. But lyric-wise, I think I've always, I don't know, I don't really analyze myself as much in that sense. Maybe in a year I can go back and be like, well, I think this, maybe I had this on my mind. But obviously I've lived a very full life. I have a lot of stories to tell. So that will come out one way or another. And I think it does on this EP.
Well, talking about Finland and Finnish people, the sound has always been extremely popular here, and you've played here many, many times. So I have to ask you, do you have any crazy memories from Finland?
I think we have a lot, actually.
Too many to remember.
Too many. Crazy, I mean, in what level? I mean, you just told the other guy that some guy bit you in your leg, and you have to shake him off. In the early days of the Sound's career in Finland, the bass player, he fell off stage because he couldn't see where the stage end. So I mean, he didn't hurt himself that much. Maybe that's not crazy. I don't know. It's been some knives running around on stage and some festivals. It's been.
Yeah, I think. Well, one of the more fond memories I had, not only the early days, but I remember we were headlining a huge festival here, and I think it was the last day, and everybody was in the audience, but also all the people working at the festival came to see that show, and I think there was over 50,000 people in the audience.
Yeah, that was.
It's pretty amazing to be up on stage and to be the commander of 50,000 people. I have a very fond memory of that. That was made a huge impression on me. So, and Finland has always been our Finnish fans have always been very loyal and very into live music. I think Finland in general it seems like you have a big interest of going and seeing live music, and that, yeah, and we love that. That's why we keep coming back.
And I heard that you tried salty licorice today. I heard this thing called salmiakki.
Yeah, no, but we have it in Sweden too.
You do?
Oh, yeah. This is my favorite candy since I grew up. Like salty candy is I'm not a chocolate kind of girl. Like salty licorice is my favorite. But we have that in Sweden. It's just that Finnish licorice is sometimes a little better.
So it's not that exotic?
No. Not at all.
Well, when you prepare to go on stage, do you still get nervous like 5 minutes before showtime?
Now I do. With Crew of Me&You, I get a little nervous because there's like, how many songs do we play? 7 or 8?
9. Yeah.
With the Sounds, some of those songs I've played for 20 years. I know them. You can wake me up in the middle of the night and I still know those songs. But with Crew of Me&You, there are 9 songs. They're totally new. I can get a little nervous, but that's a good feeling. I like it. I haven't been nervous in many years. That's good.
Well, talking about fans, I know that you are very popular within the LGBTQ community here in Finland and all over the world. How important is it for you guys to be connected with a community such as LGBTQ?
I think it's very, very important. I think the gay community has always been very supportive of new and provocative music, and to be embraced into that is, and me being bisexual, I think you guys are my family too. So, of course, but we as artists have never really had any political agenda. But in that sense, to be loved by someone is always nice. So I will love all of you people back. I think it's just it's great to be part of that, and to be embraced by a beautiful community like that.
Well, have you ever received any letters or messages from fans from any community of how your music and performances have basically changed their lives or helped them survive something?
Yeah, many. It's been sometimes very tragic to read some of those letters. A guy who his boyfriend passed away, and his favorite song was a song by The Sounds called "Home Is Where Your Heart Is," and he played that song on his funeral. It's heartbreaking. It's a very young man passed away, and the love of his life. That touches me even today, talking about it. And but we get a lot of personal letters from all kinds of walks of life and in different issues and topics and stuff like that. And it's very heartwarming, and I'm proud to be able to have, and we have been able to move people in that sense with our music. Because the hours of the day that I have when my son is at daycare we are very much focused on writing music or being creative together. So in that sense, I get way more shit done now with the son, and being a single mom on top of it, I'm much more productive right now. But touring-wise, of course, it's a bit of a logistic issue and schedule. I mean, my mom is helping me out. My friends are helping out. During this week, I'll be gone almost for a whole week. It's a bit of a puzzle, but he's been with me on tour many times. He was only 3 months old first time he came with me to Spain. So this guy has been traveling the world already, and he's 4.
Is he musical?
He is very. I was hoping he was going to become an accountant or something, but no, he's a good dancer. He's
he has some moves.
He was with us last Friday during sound check on our show, and he totally took over the whole stage. So I don't know, I've created a monster. No, he's adorable.
Well, when you're writing songs or composing, does it have to come naturally, or can you just sit in front of a piano or a guitar and just start doing something and create something, or does it have to come naturally?
I mean, you can always sit down and try to write some music, but if you don't feel it, it's just going to be bad, I think. I mean, it has to come naturally, because when it's being forced that I'm going to write a pop song or I'm going to write an electronic rave song, it's just going to be bad if you don't feel it. So it has to come out natural, I think. Otherwise, it will be. I don't think you could transform those. It would be fake feelings. And I think people, in a way, that's why I think why some bands maybe are more successful, because they can reach to people's emotions, and you can fake that, but in a way, and that's also, I think, why a lot of music sounds pretty similar and the same, because it's just like maybe songwriters sitting and writing something that would work, but it won't touch you, so. Yeah.
Well, do you have any plans to do anything with the sounds after this, or is it like over?
No, I wouldn't say after either. I mean, we're doing this at the same time, because this summer, Crew of Me&You, we're going to play festivals. And we're also doing some festivals with the Sounds. And the Sounds also have an album done. We're just waiting for the right moment for that one to be released. But also at the same time, we're really focused on Crew of Me&You right now. But that doesn't mean that the Sounds, that we can't work with the Sounds at the same time.
No, it's very much alive and kicking, and we're just happy being able to be creative in one more way than just being in the Sounds.
Have you ever collaborated with any Finnish musicians? Or do you know any?
I have written songs for Laura Närhelle with the keyboard player from the Sounds, and a few other Finnish artists. I don't know which one now, but yeah. She's the only one that I wrote for that reached gold. So I guess that's why I remember it.
Is it difficult to write songs for someone else? Because you may not know exactly what they want or what their style is.
I guess, yeah. I mean, if you write to an artist that know what kind of sound they want, it's not that hard. But if you write, for example, to someone that have no idea, they just want to stay in the spotlight, that can go either R&B, pop, rock, it's like, I don't know what to do. You need to know what kind of artist you want to be. And if that one is having a talent, that's easy to work with, you know. But it's a different state of mind, as I said, that maybe you don't invest your emotion. It's not coming from you. It should be someone else's emotions, and you're trying to help that and transform the way she or someone else thinks, and you know. So it's a different process, and it can also be fun.
Well, after being in the business for such a long time, how do you think music industry has changed, and is it for the better or for the worse?
Wow.
Tough one. I mean,
it has changed.
It has changed. I mean, nowadays, I think music should be discovered live, because that's how you get the feeling of what is the band about. And I think nowadays you need to tour to stay alive as an artist, because you don't really sell albums, you know. So if you're a good live act, I think that maybe it doesn't really matter so much. But
no, for us, but we've been around for so long. But I think there is so much more music out there today, since everyone can basically put up a song on Spotify, more or less. It's way harder to get through this whole wall of bands and acts and artists and everything. So I think it's more difficult today to be a new act and a new band. But you also have way more channels to reach out to and through. Before it was usually labels who decided who's going to be the next star. Now there's a much bigger alternative scene and subcultures in every genre and stuff like that, which is very cool. But yeah, you have to survive by playing live music if you're going to last for a long time. And unfortunately, I think a lot of artists only get one shot with the label. If their single doesn't work, then you're out. We had the opportunity to build their career, which I don't think those bands are not around today. Unfortunately, I think a lot of bands are getting kicked out before they even have a chance to discover themselves, basically.
Well, what kind of music do you listen to now?
Oh wow! I think. Right now we're in this process of writing so much music of our own. So I think right now I listen to a lot of our own stuff, like our latest stuff that hasn't been mixed or mastered or anything, like demo versions. And but I also remember I saw this newsfeed thing of a music journalist in Sweden, and I heard this girl called Rico Nasty, and I loved it. It's a new artist. I mean, she's quite successful already, but she's not like on the charts up there in top 10, but she is like a hip-hop girl from Maryland. Very good, very, very cool. So yeah, I do discover some new artists every once in a while that I think stand out from the crowd, so that's cool.
I don't have any artists I'm listening to right now, or that I feel that you know, they feel like you have discovered, like this is something new that I'm listening to. No. Yeah, no. I guess we're caught up in your own melodies and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe you don't even have the energy to listen to anything because you're listening to your own material all day.
I feel like that's not what new music, or it's not what inspires me. It's more the music we used to listen to, like in the 90s, that you remember, and you don't need to listen to music to get inspired, at least for me. Sometimes. No,
but I also think, like we talked about a little bit before, how a lot of new music today sound the same, and it's very overproduced and overthought. And kind of boring. And after a while, you kind of give up on listening to radio back home. You're like, well, nothing really stands out. I think Billie Eilish actually does stand out. Her latest single, Bad Guy, is one of those songs that I heard on radio, and I was like, whoa, this is actually pretty cool. But it's like one song in a during a whole day of radio. But so, yeah, there's not that much music out there right now that really excites me. And that's unfortunate.
I usually find new artists to listen to when I go to a show, and they have this warm-up act.
Okay, cool.
I went to see Katy Perry, and her supporting act was this Swedish girl. Yes.
Yeah, she's
and
great.
she was amazing.
Yeah, she is. She's really good.
She was I had never heard her before, and I bought her album immediately.
Wow,
Yeah.
I'm glad. Yeah, she was on Swedish Idol. She actually did live in America once. She's really great and very talented. And I'm glad you're discovering music like that. Just like you said, to see someone live and getting the surprise of seeing an act that you didn't expect to see, and that's really cool.
And that's why I love live music, because you get the feeling, and you
Yeah.
see the artists and how they perform, how they interact with the audience, and you kind of see the whole thing.
Yeah.
Well, what or who inspires you right now? What kind of things do you get inspired by?
Right now, I would say this guy inspires me the most.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
it's the same because when we sit together in the studio, we get inspired from each other's minds or twisted ideas. I mean, it's nothing else that is out there that inspires. It's like we're in the room together, something happens, and we feed out of each other's like energy and mindset. So.
Well, is there something you'd like to say to your Finnish fans? Well, now you're here, you're performing here in Helsinki tonight, but is there something you'd like to say to your Finnish diehard fans?
Well, I hope our Finnish diehard fans will embrace this little new baby that we have brought into the world. The other baby is 21 years old and should be moving out for a long time ago. To be jokes aside, I think and I hope that our Finnish fans will embrace this new band just as much as they have embraced the sounds. They will come out to a show, like we talked about. You will see the same energy and the same love, and you will have an amazing time, even with Crew of Me&You. And the sounds does still exist, so we're not taking anything away. We're just adding a little bit more love. So love it, share it, and enjoy it.
What about you?
I have to agree exactly what Maja said.
There you go.
I usually like to end my interviews with the same question, and that's why I'm asking this. What are you the most grateful for right now?
Okay, I get it. Sorry. What am I the most grateful? I'm very grateful for being a mother for my son. I'm very grateful to have him in my life.
And I would say we talked about this yesterday when we arrived and we were eating some dinner. Like, I'm really fucking grateful that I'm able to be doing this, and I think that we've been doing it for 21 years, and there's been some years that maybe it's not that fun, but to still be able to do this and have so much fun at work, which is actually it's amazing, and I think that we should cherish that. And I'm really happy that we can do this, because it's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree.
Well, your EP Home Free is out now. Everyone go check it out on Spotify, Apple Music, wherever you want. Thank you so much for your time, and I hope you have a great time here in Finland.
Thank you so much.